So good evening, everyone. Welcome to Pay Good Beginnings Forward support group. So this is our movement, Pay Good Beginnings Forward movement that I started last year in June 2020. Yeah. So today is our last segment of the month, which is about postnatal recovery. And today we have a topic on new parenthood and family planning. Yeah, sometimes this part is often being neglected. My name is Kong Chun Yen, founder of Birth Discovery and founder of Pay Good Beginnings Forward support group, supported by a team of holistic practitioners in Singapore, such as Mr. Andy Wee and some other holistic practitioners who are our angels, our good beginnings angels. Do we need to do live again? Okay, let me go live first. Let me stop the Facebook live and do it again because I think it did not work. Yeah, bear with me for a while. So for the audience here, what would you like to learn today? You can type in the chat. Well, we are going live. Okay, welcome, So Teng. What would you like to learn today?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, is that a question directed to me?
Yeah, to everyone.
There's only 4 of us today.
Yeah, there may be also people who will be joining later. There was one who joined earlier, but we haven't started yet, so I'm not too sure. Maybe later. Yeah, but it is also live on Facebook.
I see.
Are you pregnant, or are you already received your baby?
No, not yet. I'm just planning to start my family, so I'm just tuning in to hear from others and see if there are any tips that I can get from the session. Yeah.
What is the objective for today?
Just tuning in and learning from others and see if there's anything that I should pay attention to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not expecting yet, but I'm just wondering if there's anything I should take care of in terms of like my health. What should I look out for? How should I take care of my health and prepare myself for a baby? Yeah.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so join our prepare to conceive segment. Today our topic is you may get some tips today, because family planning is all about preparing yourself as well, but we may only touch on a small portion of it. Thank you. So yeah, I think we can start now. Introduce about the group. So this is part of Pay Good Beginnings Forward support group. In case you missed it, this is our session. First Tuesday of the month, we will touch on and anything related to prepare to conceive, be it physical detox, reduce stress, mental emotional stress, or anything related to it. Okay. Second Tuesday of the month is about pregnancy health and welcoming baby. So about childbirth, relaxation. Of course, the whole journey, we wanted a nurturing journey for everyone so that we can reduce a lot of stress. Now today's segment is about postnatal health. So postnatal health is one of the most challenging, I would say, period in our for women who just given birth. More or less they bound to be some challenges. Yeah, mainly because there's lack of sleep, and there's another person that you wanted to get to know, right? And it is quite busy for the mother while she's recovering. Yeah, so it could be a very joyful. Yes, it is a very joyful journey, your new motherhood, especially when you see your baby. A little movement is very exciting. there are more to it as well. So I think this is a very beautiful journey, and we hope that everyone can enjoy the journey into parenthood. So today we also have Andy. I would like to invite Mr. Andy V to introduce himself, and Mr. Andy has been quite actively contributing to our community in the area of fertility, helping couples to achieve pregnancy naturally through cycle charting. So, Mr. Andy, please take it away.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good to be here to share with you about this topic, after birth, and what to look out for. Yeah, today will be kind of a conversation lah, so it will not be just one way. You can ask us questions, and Yen is also a mother of two, right? So she's got lots of experience in the whole conceiving, birth, and post-birth breastfeeding and parenting as well. So okay, just share briefly about myself. I'm actually from Caritas Fertility Care, and a lot of my work involves with helping couples to get pregnant naturally, and helping them to understand their cycle, and also the information from the charts, how they can actually time conception, how they can actually seek medical help, and also improve their health for fertility. And then from my own experience as well, I have 4 children, and gone through that 4 times, the whole getting pregnant and the birth and the breastfeeding and the growing up, yeah, 4 times. So my oldest is actually 14, my youngest is actually 6 years old, and my wife say no more. So yeah, that's where we're at. But yeah, happy to share this evening more about the whole experience, so that couples can have a better, fulfilling married life and also family life. Yeah.
Because we have a new mother here as well, so Sing can share with us in terms of getting enough sleep, because sleep is one of the most challenging time, because after birth, when baby there's a lot of demand from baby, right? Every few hours, or maybe two hours or so, you need to breastfeed the baby, changing of diaper how many times a day, many times a day. And sometimes you don't even know why baby will be crying, and so all this can put a lot of stress on mother. So maybe Sing, who just received your baby a few weeks ago, may I invite you to share what is your challenges and how do you overcome sleep issue?
Thanks, Ian. This is a really good question, because like what you shared, it's a really joyful occasion, like receiving your baby. But the tension that comes with it also escalated quite quickly, because your body is experiencing a lot of changes, and the body starts producing breast milk, and it all starts from the hormone. So your body will feel still quite sore, a bit sore from the muscles group that were being used during the birthing stage, right? And you need some rest, but you don't get that rest because you don't have the luxury of uninterrupted sleep because of the breastfeeding and attending to the baby's needs especially the first week. I think that is the toughest period. But how I overcome it is actually with a lot of support from my husband. Yeah, be it emotionally or physically. Like, he can help with changing of the diaper, or certain things like sterilizing the haka pumps when you use to collect the letdown from the breast milk, or any help is appreciated, because he can help with everything except from breastfeeding the baby. And breastfeeding is really a very tough job by itself already, because the baby needs you every few hours, and you need to practice with the baby on how to do the latching right.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, that would be very helpful, especially if you are able to breastfeed and get the latch right, and that can really save a lot. Yeah, of course, holding the baby for a longer period of time, especially newborn baby, can feed for a long time. Any kind of help is very useful. So support is one thing. Yeah, support is a big I think it's the most important essential for mother after birth. Yeah, without the support, it can be quite challenging. So the support from husband, right? Support from maybe confinement nanny or helper or anyone at home will be very useful. Yeah, it will be very it can give you time to even maybe someone to talk to, you know, after you feed the baby, just pass to someone to burp the baby, because after feeding they're still burping. And you don't always get the burp out fast. Yeah, it can take 20 minutes to burp the baby. It can take that long, especially when the baby is a bit sleepy. Yeah. So yes, you know, motherhood can be quite hard work, but it is very joyful. Just remember that it won't last forever, right? It will just be that short few months. After that, you will be fine. So yes, support. Getting enough sleep is catch a nap as much as you can. Yeah. To pass to someone after feeding, or someone to help in the room if you sleep with the baby and with your partner. At least partner can get up and take care of baby. Yeah, but you make it take each other as well. I'm a mother of two. Andy is a father of four. He has a lot of experience in terms of how to help his wife to regain energy. So I would say yes, catch some sleep, and it may be during the day, but you may also wanted to rest. I know it can be quite challenging during the day. It is, you know, that's the time you wake up because it's bright out there. But yet, you know, it's good to just close your eyes for a while. Play music will be one way. A relaxing music can help you, because just do nothing and just quiet your mind instead of thinking. You know, thinking can really take up a lot of energy. Plus, on top of that, if you don't get used to not getting a good sleep, you know, especially at night, it can be quite challenging. Yeah. I would say take a few deep breaths. Breathing can help. As you breathe, you pump in more oxygen. Later, I will show you how you can breathe with healing breath. Yeah, I will teach you some healing breath where you will learn just for a short while. You can pump up a lot of oxygen to your blood. Yeah, just for a short while, and then you can just sit for a few minutes, and that few minutes can give you energy, because it isn't just sleep that give you energy. Of course, when we sleep, our body repair itself, but at time you just quiet your mind. You can just rest and center yourself. You can also gain energy from breathing. Yeah. Andy, do you have anything you wanted to share? Some tips from experience that.
Yes, okay. Okay, so let me just share from my knowledge and also in my work. Yeah. Besides the fertility couples, we also teach this method called the Creighton model. And I also teach this method called the Billings method. So both methods are quite similar, involves charting and understanding your cycle. So I will just share a bit on the technical side to give the ladies and couples here a bit of better understanding of their body and be able to know what's happening in returning fertility after birth. Yeah, and also if you're achieving pregnancy. Okay, let me just do that sharing. Yeah. So yeah, let me just run that. Okay, so for myself, I've been a fertility practitioner for the last 14 years, and fertility charting helps us to understand our body better, the signs of the body that indicate fertility by looking at bleeding and cervical mucus patterns. And for those fertility couples, they can cover any underlying fertility issues for treatment if necessary. Yeah. Okay, just share with you my family. This is my first boy who is 2 years old at that time. So it started off with the first one, and yeah, all bliss. a lot of learning, a lot of anxiety and stress over, what's happening, getting used to a new baby. Yeah, so that's what the days many years ago. Yeah. So, and then after that, the first one grew to 2 years, and then we had the second one. So this is the second one, newborn. Yeah. And then after that, this is the third one. Yeah, we had 2 boys, and we said, why don't we try for a girl? And after 4 years, the girl was born. Yeah. So my wife was very happy. You see the smile here. So a complete different experience of having a girl. And then yeah, the brothers have a new sibling to play with. Now you can say fight with lah as well. So that keeps them really busy. Then after that, 2 more years, we had another one, another girl and that's the 4 of them lah. And 2 girls and 2 boys is a good number. They have a company to play with, playmate to keep each other company, and to learn from each other as well lah. Yeah. Okay, so that's my family. Yeah, now I just bring the couples here to understand. Okay, often the ladies are only aware of the menstrual bleeding days, but actually a very important event that happens that actually precedes the menstrual bleeding is ovulation. Ovulation happens usually during the mid-cycle. If you have a 28-day cycle, it's usually around day 14, you ovulate. Okay, and in the female reproductive system, right? Okay, I'll just zoom in on this very important organ we call the cervix lah, that most couples may not be aware. This is a kind of a gate that controls fertility, and during the fertile days you'll see clear mucus being produced that tells you you're in the fertile days of cycle. So if intercourse around those days, you will have a chance of achieving pregnancy. And all these observations you need to do all external at the vulva area. From the external, you will flow down during your natural daily activities, and you can see it, and it will tell you the days of fertility. But what we teach is a method to chart, because by charting, you know where you are in the cycle. It's like a map to tell you, are you after the ovulation? Are you coming to a new menstrual cycle? Are you post-menstrual cycle? Okay. So just a brief introduction on that. Yeah. So this is the cervix. Actually, in the inner part of the cervix, there's a lots of crypts that produce mucus. That in the fertile days, it looks like channels, tracks that transport the sperm up. In the infertile days, the crypts produce this kind of mucus, which looks like a brick wall that stops the sperm from swimming through. That's where the ladies are in the infertile days, where you experience dry days in the cycle. Okay, and if you look at through the vagina, you can see the cervix is open on the peak day where mucus can go through. After that, it closes and you'll be infertile in those days after. Okay. The reality is lady cycle is actually very complex. There's a lot of activities happening throughout the whole cycle. Hormone changes, lining changes, ovulation. So this is all that's happening in the body in relation to the reproductive system. Okay, so for those who are new, there's menstrual bleeding days, there's infertile days, and when you see mucus up to the peak 1, 2, 3, right? These are the fertile days in the cycle. Bottom chart here, you can see day 9 to day 16 is the fertile days. And after that, day 17 onwards to the end of the cycle will be infertile, provided you have identified the peak very accurately. Okay. Okay, so that's the regular cycle that ladies would observe if they have normal fertility. Now we come to breastfeeding, right? So after you have given birth, for ladies who have given birth, right? Assuming you have learned how to chart before, and then after birth, you start to chart and observe for your cervical mucus, right? You see what we call like a very, very long cycle kind of a pattern. So you see there will be dry days, don't see any mucus at all, and the occasional patches of mucus happening. And then you may see a lot of dry days in between. This is closely related to if you are fully breastfeeding, or you're starting to wean, or you have long breaks during breastfeeding, the fertility will try to start again, and that's where you see occasional patches of mucus, which potentially could be fertile if your cycle is trying to start itself up again. Okay, so with charting, you can tell when your fertility is coming back and when you are having dry days, which is actually infertile days in the cycle, when you still can have intimacy during these days, assuming you still have energy left, when you have a new baby, you can still come together, have intimacy, love making, and being close to each other as husband and wife. There's no need to stop completely at all. Yeah. Okay, so you see over here, what happens is that as you usually for Singapore ladies is after their 4 months maternity, they go back to work, right? They will start to feed less and less, and that's where fertility will start to resume again. The ovulation will start to resume again, and it's like starting an engine. You know, the mucus will start to appear, try to come back. You know, and then when the engine is fully started, then you start to have your regular cycles again. So for this lady, right, you see there's mucus, there's a peak day here, but she hasn't actually ovulated. Then with more, she actually weaned maybe about 2 weeks earlier from the baby, and then the fertility starts to come back already. And then here, she actually has a peak here where she ovulates, and then after that, she can have her menstrual bleeding resumed again, you know. And then that's where her fertility has started, and she can start to conceive the next baby again. Okay, and then subsequent cycle, fertility comes back again. So this is typically how the cycle comes back. It really depends on each individual lady. Sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes 12 months, and some fully breastfeeding can take even 1 year or 2 years before it comes back. Yeah, so you need to be aware of this. And there's no need to worry if you are understanding your cycle through the charting. You can see the days of fertility. You can know when you are fertile, when you are not, and you can have time for intimacy with the husband. So the husband can have some chance to express his love for his wife as well. Okay, often couples who have just given birth, they are very worried that they may get pregnant too soon. My advice is spacing a child of 1 year to 2 years is ideal. And maybe after a year and a half, you can start to achieve pregnancy if you are planning for the next one. Okay, so that's a brief introduction about me. I'll just stop there. Yeah, so those are some of the information you can actually learn and use in your practical case in the breastfeeding part of the cycle. Yeah.
Thank you, Andy. Yeah, it is something that everyone can learn because the chatting tells you more about your body. But of course, that is just one way of doing it, and we do have that. I think Andy shared that session, and it is under our Good Beginnings program, Nurturing Conception. There are seven sessions there where there are classes, there are proper class, 1 hour of each, where you can learn chatting. There's one class on chatting, right? Cervical chatting, and also yoga and all that. So yes, we do have to take care of your physical body, mental, emotional health, and of course understand your spouse, have a good more effective conversation with your partner. Yeah, you may want a child, your partner may not want a child, or maybe your partner, husband is so ready, when are we going to have another child? Where mother just gave birth, say no, wait, yeah, there should be a good pregnancy gap, right? Ideally between pregnancies 3 years would be pretty good, but all depends on how well you take care of yourself after birth, right? So if you recover well and you feel you are fit to achieve pregnancy, you can, as long as it's not too close. Yeah, because the mother needs to recuperate. She needs to recover, and on top of that, breastfeeding is actually quite draining for mother. Yeah. Ideally, my suggestion is that you go through a detox program, really clean up yourself, yeah, and of course our emotional baggage as well, so that you can achieve optimal health. Achieve optimal health before you conceive. so we don't pass on the junk to the baby, especially if someone had in their birth they are very much medicated. Yeah, so if you took epidural and there are a lot of drugs involved, then it would be good after you stop breastfeeding and do a complete overhaul the body and give it some time for both parties, and not just the mother but the husband as well, the partner as well. So when both parties are healthy, then you should not have issue achieve pregnancy. Normally it is related to health, but if both are really healthy and one person maybe sperm count is low, or for some reason there's no baby, then you can always get help. But otherwise, reflect on it first. That's what parents do. reflect Reflect on it and take care of yourself, because if you don't know how to take care of yourself, how do you take care of your future child? It'll be very difficult. Yeah, so learn that life skill, it will be very useful. So back to that question about I think Mr. Andy mentioned about intimacy can be anytime right after birth, huh? But the question is, do you ask your wife, does she feel like having or make love after birth? A lot of time after birth is so your schedule, your routine is take care of baby 24 hours a day, right? After that, you don't even have the energy, and you are always exchange oxytocin with the baby while baby is breastfeeding. So too much of that. When do you feel like love making, have an intimacy with your spouse? So we would like to ask Mr. Andy, how does a husband feel after birth if there's lack of intimacy? Yeah, how do you cope with it?
Okay, so most of the time, couples who have just have a new baby, they're actually very preoccupied with the new baby lah. So depends on the couple and how ready they are. Communication is the most important lah. The husband doesn't have the whole birth and the whole recovery and all that. So husbands are possibly thinking, when. And then for the wives, they are very preoccupied with breastfeeding. Sometimes, worry about, is the baby suckling correctly? Are they growing? Is they feeding enough? So I would say, couples are, if you're first-time parents, it's definitely a struggle. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask Yen, ask your friends, because you're not the first time or first one in this world to experience this. But I call breastfeeding like playing a 24/7 real-time game. Really have to be on the ball and read the signs and adjust accordingly. And routine can be set like every 2-3 hours, right? In the breastfeeding, upon birth, you can start to set the routine already. If the baby is too sleepy, you can wake up the baby so that they can feed every 2-3 hours. So slowly, within a month or so, they will get into the routine already, and makes it a little bit easier. So from my own experience, where my wife breastfeed all 4 of the children, and actually the first year was quite good for me lah, I would say, because every time they need to feed, they just find my wife and they feed. Yeah, and so it was quite manageable in that sense. And in her experience of breastfeeding, actually she encountered some difficulty, and she even has an infection, and she even went to see the breast specialist, and she had to get some help lah. And I think knowing what's happening, and like blocked ducts or engorged breast, what to do is important. Until you experience it, you may not know, but stand by your friends who have gone through the experience. They'll be able to help you. So actually the first 56 days after birth is actually, if you are fully breastfeeding, is actually infertile. So it's about a good 8 weeks lah, 56 days.
Yeah, about 2 months.
Yes.
That's been 2 months, no love making?
No, 2 months actually is infertile if you are fully breastfeeding. Yeah, the cycle will not come back so soon. So after that, cycle can come back depending on the couples, depending on the breastfeeding, how it changes over time. Okay, so I think a lot of new parents, they get very, very focused on the baby. They must first look after themselves. Self-care is very important. and looking after their own needs, and the husband as well lah. Because the husband also need to be understanding that the wife is still recovering, so maybe wait some time, maybe 1 month or after. If you have episiotomy, it needs to heal. After it heals, then whether you are ready lah. Everything is about communication, understanding where your wife is at. And if she's ready, maybe she can tell you lah. If she can have some time after being rested and she still has energy, then intimacy can happen.
Yes, Mr. Andy, probably you missed out my question. So how would you feel as a husband if your wife are not quite ready yet, and yet, you know, do you feel you are being left out because the baby is very clingy to the mother, to your wife, as if like, especially the first two are boys, right? Do you feel like these two boys are my rival?
No lah, they are my children. What? Why I feel they are rival? The wife is the wife, the baby one is different. But yes, men have needs. Men have needs, and it's good to express and be understanding. And like newborns, right? The wife need to rest. If you want to breastfeed well, the wife need to rest. I always say the husbands have to do everything else. The wife has to rest and breastfeed. This is the two main thing. Everything else throw to the husband. Housework, wash toilet, wash bottles, fend off mother-in-law, whatever need to do. Husbands have to be aware, but of course they must be educated lah. They must know what's happening and be prepared. Okay. And by doing that, they are actually loving their wife. It's not just the physical intimacy. They are really expressing love for their wife and their child, you know. As actually the first month is the hardest lah. Once you clear the first month, things start to stabilize towards the second, third month. I think it's much easier already after that. Yeah.
The first month is more challenging, yes. But don't forget, first month, usually parents will engage confinement nanny, right? So when it comes to the second month, there are no more confinement nanny. So they are on their own, especially those who live by themselves without family members, right? Just like me, when I've been through it, because I have no one take care of me. After confinement, nanny went home, and I was on my own with the baby. Even you go toilet, it can be a little bit stress. Yeah, a bit of noise. You have to be quite alert. So waiting for the husband to come back. So that could also be quite challenging. So mommy will need to stay more calm. Of course, it helps if you achieve a healthy birth, then physically you have more, you would have more energy. You will not be struggling as much as compared to those who actually have drugs or episiotomy. And if the recovery take long and that you are taking care of baby at the same time and without help after the 1 month confinement, it can be quite challenging. Of course, like what Andy shared, that the wife has experienced some engorgement. There are some issue with the breast infection and all that. Yeah, mommy can cry. Yes. Support. Yeah. So I think your wife is quite blessed to have you, who is very understanding, a very understanding husband, very caring husband who do all the chore at home, and not really, you know, pushing for intimacy, right? So give her time to recover first, and yet you are feeling more at peace, right? So for husband, you still feel more at peace without that intimacy. Yeah, you're still good, huh? Yeah, we hope that all husbands will be more like that. But of course, you can work as a team. Communication is very important here. Does anyone have any question or would like to share your experience?
To add on what I said, yeah, I think if you look at the baby, you know, you feel a lot of joy, you feel a lot of love, and I think it can wait a little bit lah, in that sense, you know.
How long is a little bit?
It really depends on the husband and wife lah, you know. If you things are more settled.
Are you willing
Baby
to
also
wait?
need to sleep, ma. Baby also need to sleep, ma. You have to be a bit more creative in finding the time slot lah, when the wife has recovered. Yeah, talking about confinement nanny, the if you have a good one is a help lah. And if you don't have a good one, like our experience, the first one started to get in the way than being helpful lah. So our confinement nanny left at 3 weeks or so, and we continue on our own. And the rest of the other 3 pregnancies, we don't have any confinement nanny. We prefer
You
to
managed on your own.
just order the food and just manage ourselves lah. It was a bit easier. After the first one really is the hardest. After that, you learn the ropes, you get better at it lah. And if by the time you have third one, fourth one, you can close eyes, you can manage already with a lot more confidence lah. Learning
Right.
from that. Yeah, so a lot of couples sometimes feel maybe overwhelmed or some even traumatized by the first baby or the experience, and they don't go on to have the second and third one and the fourth one. So it's a pity lah, for that to happen. That's why, attending good classes, prenatal classes, being guided by the right people who have the positive experience can help a lot in the whole childbirth and also early parenting experiences lah. Yeah.
Yeah. So our objective is a stress-free, reduce stress as much as possible, and have a nurturing journey. So it is time to nurture each other, right? You see how loving the husband can be, after birth, and he did a lot. And for the mother who feel more supported and being nurtured, maybe the husband will bring food to you. So when you have a bit of time, of course you will have time to sit together. Just a hug will be quite nice. Kissing and hugging will be quite nice, and watch TV while the baby is sleeping. Yeah, so those time can be quite beautiful and help to reduce stress. So I will also suggest touch therapy. Yeah, a light touch, it can reduce a lot of stress. And I teach butterfly touch. We just do a bit of sweeping, so it helps to increase the energy, reduce fatigue. Yeah, so just a very short 20 minutes, you can pump up more energy. If you are tired, you could sleep and wake up feeling energized. That will be actually something that is very good for all of you. Atik Singh had learned that, so you can teach your husband to do it on you, while you can also do it on him. So this is very nurturing for each other, and of course learn to help your baby release some birth issue. So your baby will be more calm, and baby cry less, and baby cry only when he needs something. Yeah, that will be great, because when you need something, you are communicating with the parents, then parents respond confidently without stress. Then it will be very nurturing, and it's very joyful, and it's so nice to receive the first baby. Everything is very exciting, and it is very amazing. It's a beautiful journey. When you have a second one, a third one, and fourth one will be very different, right? Yeah, Mr. Andy.
Yes, certainly different lah, but you feel more familiar, you feel more confident and less stressed. Yeah, so that's can be like that lah.
Right. So let's do a little bit of exercise. As I promised you, 25 healing breath. Okay, are you ready to do some exercises, which is a breathing exercise? So you don't have to stand up or anything like that. So we pump up more oxygen to the brain, to your blood, to give you oxygen. When you are oxygenated, you have more energy. And it's just a quick one. Are you ready? If you are ready, then we will do it. Here. Okay, so this is how you do it. So 25 healing breath means there are 5 times we do it. Okay, 5 times 5. So you will normally take in a deep breath from your nose and out from your nose as well. But you inhale from your diaphragm. Okay, so you inhale to the count of 4 like this. So it's a deep inhalation, and you exhale and kind of push your tummy. So the exhalation is shorter than your inhalation. Then we do that 4 times. I'm just going to demo to you. And the 5th one, you will take even longer inhalation to the count of 5. And then you exhale. So that will complete 5 breaths. And then you do it 5 times. So I'm going to show you once. And then we can do it together as 25 healing breath. Right? So here it goes. First breath, breathe in. Breathe out. Second breath. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Fifth breath is a longer one. Like that. 5 times. So that will be 25 healing breath. Okay, let's do it together and I will not count. Okay, so okay, let's start now. You exhale to empty your breath. Now inhale. This first round, now second round. Now third round. Fourth round. Last round. And now close your eyes. And feel your body sensation. Feel that the air you are breathing is pumping up in your brain. There is some sensation maybe on your face or in your head or your shoulders or any part of your body. Connect to your body. Time to connect with your body and feel if there is any tension on your shoulders, on your face. Be aware of your facial muscles. Be aware of your shoulders, your arms. Are you holding tension? What about your tummy? Is your tummy feeling tight or more relaxed? Your thighs and your legs. And now scan your body. Come back to your body. And you can now set your intention. What do you want to achieve? Do you want energy back to your body? Are you seeking just relaxation? Be aware of your breathing. Are you breathing properly? Do you breathe from your chest or do you breathe from your diaphragm? Are you breathing deeply? Be aware of your heartbeat. Is your heartbeat beating slowly now? It is slower than before. As you breathe in deeply and slowly, you are taking deep breath from your diaphragm. As you exhale very slowly, your belly slowly sinks in. And set that intention every time that you exhale. You release all the tension in your body. You release the stress, release all your fatigue, the stress of the day, the discomfort in any part of the body. If you are breastfeeding, if you are feeling sore on your breast, just send loving energy to your breast, because your breast is nurturing the baby. With the next inhalation, I would like you to send loving thoughts to yourself. Feeling loved by people around you. But first, send love to yourself. Give yourself a big smile. And think of happy thoughts. If you are holding your baby in your arms, now send love to your baby. I would like you to take one refreshing breath. Now slowly exhale. Now I would like you to send love to people around you. If someone agitates you today, you're feeling stressed about it, let that go. And send love to that person. Very good. You can slowly, gently come back to your body and open your eyes. When you open your eyes, you feel fresh. You are feeling energized. And you can continue your evening. Maybe if you're tired, you can sleep. How are you all feeling?
Relaxed.
Very good. Yeah. So the 25 healing breath, you can do 2 rounds. Make it 50 breath. Yeah. So you do 5 times. The first 4 breath, you breathe into the count of 4. Exhale faster. So you all inhale and exhale from your nose. The 5th inhalation is longer, almost like to the count of 5. Okay, and then you exhale, and then you start the second one. Okay, so you can do 2 sets. Yeah, if you feel like you need energy, you just do 2 sets. Because when you do 2 sets, that's what I did, and I usually take I do a lot of breath. I actually do Kriya, so I could feel there are some sensation on my face and sometimes on my lips. Yeah, it is unblocking because I give myself a lot of oxygen. Yeah, I'm feeding my cells with oxygen. Yeah, and it is feeling really good because you could feel some sensation in any part of your body, and sometimes I could feel it in my head as well. Yeah, so it's something that you can do. It's very simple, right? 25 healing breath will give you a lot of oxygen give you energy, instant energy, and it doesn't take long, right? So after that, you just quiet yourself. You can play music if you want, but you can quiet yourself and you can lie down or you can sit up. That's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah. And just be aware of your body sensation and come back to the body. When you're very much connected to your body, you know what's going on in your body. So Mr. Andy earlier shared with you about cervical chatting. So something that you can monitor your health, especially for women. Monitoring our health, it can be quite simple. It can be quite easy, yeah, because of the changes, right, in our hormone. And you have monthly cycle. If you don't have regular monthly menses, it means something is not right. Your hormonal imbalance. Yeah, it's good to do something about it. First, take care of your physical health, mental, emotional health. It does manifest in the physical body as some discomfort, pain, and you shouldn't be feeling pain, and you can work on it. When you are healthy, you can nurture a healthy child, and this is my own experience. So age is secondary, health is the priority. Yeah, first and foremost is your health, and then you will have a smoother journey in your pregnancy, and then you can have a healthy birth. If you are not healthy in the first place, even if you achieve pregnancy, it can be quite challenging as well. So it will be good to give a baby a good start in life and for yourself, so we can reduce a lot of stress. Yeah, we don't need a stress, we let it go. Yeah, just embrace a lot of joy. Yeah, have a positive thinking, because after birth sometimes I wouldn't say easy. Yes, yeah, just like Andy share, you have to maybe fan your mother-in-law.
I wanted to add something. Yeah, some of the ladies, because of the whole pregnancy, right, the progesterone levels are very high throughout the pregnancy. But once they birth the baby, the progesterone drops a lot, and it can affect their moods, and they may feel supposed to feel happy, but they may feel low or feel um, moody or even depression
Yeah.
sometimes. And actually, it's hormonal. It's not
Yes, it's hormonal
the
change.
situation, it's hormonal. So husbands need to be extra caring and aware and affirm their spouse at this time when the hormones are low. And sometimes it can last 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So very aware of this postpartum low moods. So um,
Yes.
it's very much hormonal, and it's quite common in that sense. So yeah,
Yeah.
if your ladies are feeling that way, good to be aware of this, and then nudge your husband, or say something, talk to somebody, talk to a girlfriend, talk to your mother, talk to somebody, and start, don't feel alone, don't be isolated. Very important.
Yes, partly because after birth there is a drop of oxytocin, which is the love hormone. Yeah, so this is the hormone that actually reduce. But then breastfeeding can help mother to pump up a bit more oxytocin. So which is an exchange love between you and your baby. So that can be quite helpful, but still there's still a drop. So if labor and birth there's drugs involved, that doesn't help. It can really reduce the amount of natural oxytocin that your body can produce. So therefore, it may be more than just postpartum blue. It can be postpartum depression. Some people do experience that. But I would say if you are healthy and if you have positive thinking, okay, so positive thinking will come in this case. I wouldn't say it's easy. It may not be very easy, but it really very much take willingness. But if you feel supported, especially when you feel supported by the husband, you know that I can count on him and he is on my side, and that would be, I would say, really be helpful. So I'm not sure if your both parties, your husbands are in the session or not. It'd be nice if they are here. They can listen to it. But don't worry if you missed the session. If you wanted to watch the session again, you can join us in our private support group called Pay Good Beginnings Forward Support Group. So which is the this side. So you see the QR code, the Facebook QR code. So you could scan this QR code, or you can go to our Facebook called Pay Good Beginnings Forward Support Group. It is a private group, so you need to join in order to get some information there. So you'll be notified of the next session. The next time we will have sessions about prepare to conceive, which is the first Tuesday of the month. Second Tuesday of the month is about pregnancy, health, and childbirth. And the third Tuesday of the month, that's just like today, is about postnatal health. And today we cover family planning. I think it's always good to plan in advance so you don't have a pregnancy gap that is very short, especially within 2 years or within a year and a half. That's a bit too short. So give yourself a chance to recover, and so that your womb is a nurturing temper, a womb for the baby to grow in. So it is fair to both you and your baby. Okay, we have come to the end of our session. Thank you very much for joining us. For those who are in their postpartum period, we have Good Beginnings, our postpartum session, which is only about $20. So it covers like postnatal yoga, understanding about baby, parenting, some reflection, and we have baby wearing, and about womb recovery. So those are the sessions that you can join for as little as just $20. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the session and enjoy the rest of your evening. Do join us again. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And thank you, Mr. Andy, for sharing your passion. And because we learned a lot from you as an experienced dad in the session. Okay, bye for now.